Hey everybody, I got a special review for you today. This we're going to look at is called Escape Room in a Box, The Werewolf Experiment. Now this art here you can see is prototype art, it's not yet final. And what this is exactly like it sounds. Now this is going to be up on Kickstarter and it is a escape room in a box. So if you don't know what an escape room is, usually you go to a place, they've rented out some office space or some warehouse space. They maybe have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different themed escape rooms, and they take you and a group of friends or family and they put you in there. It usually costs like 30 bucks a piece, and you usually have an hour to escape this room, and they might be different themes. One that I've done is where we're in somebody's house trying to investigate a murder, and we were in a couple of rooms actually where it was made to look like somebody's living room and so forth. Now like I said, that's 30 bucks a piece. Whereas this, I believe, is going to kickstart for $45 and MSRP for around $60. That might not be final numbers, but that's pretty close, I think. So you can take this and then you can open the box, and from the instant that you open this box and kind of peel off the inner lid, then you are in now a doctor's lab who has released this toxin, and you are all going to be werewolves if you haven't discovered the cure or found the antidote in this person's lab within the space of 1 hour. So I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the components. Obviously I can't talk about it like too specifically because then it would spoil the whole thing. So it is kind of a, well, it's sort of a one-time deal. It's definitely not a one-time play and get rid of it. I'll explain a little bit more about that towards the end, but I just want to talk a little bit about and show you some pictures of what's in here, and without spoiling it. So let's take a look at some of the items that are in here. So here you can see just about all of the different components that are in the game. You can see locked tins, envelopes, and little jars and things. Here you can see a locked antidote jar, and this may or may not be very important through the course of your adventure in this room. And then you've got other sort of items like this one you can see here. You've got these different holes. You might discover this at some point. You're gonna have to discover how to make use of it. And here's another piece of the puzzle. I'll just stare at this. I don't really want to talk too much about this, but it is an intricate part of the box itself as well as the puzzles. And the game provides, of course, some other material, and not everything that I'm showing here is everything actually in the box. There's definitely some stuff that I'm leaving out for sure. So that's a brief overview of everything you get in the box. The one thing I can say about the puzzles is there are like kind of a variety of skill levels. So they've made this very sort of family oriented, where there's some puzzles. I actually did this with my son, and he grabbed onto a couple of puzzles very quickly and started investigating and sort of deciphering those clues and putting things together in that way. I worked on some other things, and then we assembled sort of slowly, you know, different clues from different sporadic things, a little bit of free association and so on. So there's going to be stuff for kind of everybody to do and participate in, and I think the box is like 1 to 5 players, and I think if you're going to get this, you want to have kind of towards that larger amount, because we did it in 90 minutes and it was just the 2 of us, and you could definitely do it with 60 minutes. So if you had 5 people kind of going at it, and each person diving after different clues and then trying to associate, oh, I found this, what did you find, do these meet up in any way? So you need a few more people, I think, to get it done in the 60 minutes, but we had a great time with it actually, getting it in 90 minutes. It also comes with kind of like a hint book, so if you get kind of lost and stuck, it tells you can look at the hint book 3 times, which we did, and well, I'm gonna spoil something, I don't want to say something, but that was cool. And then there were some other things kind of along the lines like that. The box itself actually came with a sort of a party guide, and this is a really interesting aspect of it, I think, where it gives you some very cheap ways to make like sort of thematic drinks and create some sort of thematic props. You could go down to the craft store and create some different things, so you can kind of make a nice environment, sort of a party atmosphere. Kind of reminds me of some of those murder mysteries, back, I don't know, a couple of decades ago, but you can sort of set this up and make it a very cool thematic environment to kind of get people in the mood of the theme, and get people interested in figuring out the puzzle and really kind of set the tone, of an evening and so on. So that's a neat little add-on that they have here. And they also mentioned that they are going to have sort of, and again, I'm trying not to spoil, but like refills, because some of the puzzles, I just want to say, the first few puzzles you kind of get, you're like, okay, I kind of got this. This is stuff I've seen before probably, but then you get to certain sort of clues and puzzles to unlock, and you're like, wow, that's really cool that they sort of took it there. And so, but once you unlock that, there's no way to physically sort of reset it. I'll just say that much. But they are going to provide, I don't know the exact details, but ways to kind of like refill and reset, and there's going to be instructions to reset this. So even though you might get it and, you know, gone through the experience of discovering it, you can actually host this for others, you know, take it to different events and different parties and things, and set it up for other people, and kind of, like I said, play host to other people, and kind of act there maybe as somebody that would deal out the hints and say, okay, you guys are stuck on this, I'll give you one of the hints out of the book, or maybe through your own experience, you know, give some more targeted hints and stuff like that. So that could be a very fun thing. So it's definitely not like a one-shot, you know, 1 hour game and then you get rid of it. There's going to be some replay value here. So I definitely would recommend this. I'm kind of sort of breaking my own rule of doing a Kickstarter preview, but I was really interested when I first heard about it. Then after we played through it, I was like, this is really, really fun. It's a really cool concept. I like the idea of what they're doing here, where you can take and have this event, you can set it up, and it's kind of like in my terms, the board game sort of breaking out of the box and the board itself and becoming, in a sense, the room that you're in, with some of the party planner aspects, you know, a lot of the suggestions and ideas and the way a lot of the clues work and stuff, and just the ability to take it into that environment and bring people into it's a very, very unique experience. I think this is really going to be capable of doing that for many folks. Like I said, the puzzles are kind of at different levels, different kinds of puzzles. I'm like being very careful about giving hints, but there are some things that kind of reminded me of stuff we did when we were kids, and then there was other sort of more complex interlocking puzzles. So I think it's really going to excite like a lot of different folks. So I think it's going to hit on a lot of cylinders is what I'm really trying to say. So definitely take a look at it for sure. And, you know, look at some more details on their Kickstarter page, but really a high recommendation for me. And I hope they do more of these, actually. You know, they have another escape room in the box with a different theme and different clues and stuff, because I'll be excited to sort of try to unlock those as well. So definitely take a look at this one. Thanks.